anybody excited? Have you learned anything yet? Well, this is a man who needs no recognition. I'd like to introduce you to John Johnson. John has been a man, just like Michael, a man on a mission this year, and I couldn't be more excited or proud of him. And he's the top recruiter on my team. I suspect he might be the top recruiter in the company. He had 47 recruits last year, of which he qualified 39. He has a blast. Nancy Joe's in the room, yes. And he had a blast at his shows. And I know that you probably want to know, what does that look like? And all I can say is, I asked John, just share with everybody what you do, how you do it, and I'll let him take over. So.
You gotta listen to Marie. Everybody's gotta listen to Marie. For some of you guys that don't know me, I am like Love Carpenter, not an executive, but Love said I was just a cop. Well, I was just a cop. I worked for the Chicago Police Department for 18 years. I got hurt on the job and all that crazy stuff. But I also joined the team to get the kid. I was a kidnapper, just like a lot of people still are. I had the kid for 6 months. I had 3 days left in my 6 months, and my sister called me and she said, "Are you going to disappoint me?" Everybody knows about that disappointment word, right? We don't like it. Went around, got a catalog show. At the time it was $150 in sales, and I went, okay, I'm going to show you. I didn't want anybody to know in the Chicago Police Department that I was doing Pampered Chef. So I called my sister-in-law in Indianapolis, and I'm like, Carrie, you got to prove Julie wrong. I'm doing a show. So I went to Indianapolis. I did a show. So you guys know, of course, I'm from Chicago. I went to Indianapolis, did a show, and I was like, let me do one more. Came back to Chicago. I got a friend who's a teacher. I said, Angela, get your teacher friends together. Are there any teachers in this room? Wow. 18 teachers in one room. I don't even think they knew what I made that night. So from that moment, I actually will be with Pampered Chef 5 years in August. Year to date, I have 25 recruits this year. And I was at an executive bound meeting today with my girlfriend over here, Ellington Boyce, and Ellington's got 24, so she's riding on my coat. Yeah, I know, you're good. You're awesome. I do love Ellington. She's great. But you know what? There's 3 ingredients to every single show. And if you've listened to everybody that's been up here so far, you don't have a business unless you have a show. You can do virtual shows, you can do Facebook shows, you can do all this other that I call supplemental. If you're not doing cooking shows, you're not going to get recruits. And I know all you guys in this crowd are sitting there going, I've tried, I'm not going to get it, I'm not going to do it. Keep saying that and you're not going to do it.
That's right.
I remember going for Circle of Honor, I've gone for Circle of Honor, and everybody please say a prayer that on Friday night it comes out that I did. And if I didn't, I've given it my best.
Yes, you have. Yeah.
But it wasn't January. And I was struggling. I mean, everybody has their struggles. And I called Patty Masarino. Woo, it's an emotional week, just so you guys know. So I said to Patty, I said, you know, Patty, if I get this, you know, it's going to be amazing. And Patty said, stop right there. You said if. So if there's one thing in your, if you guys can get out of here, write the word if down. I don't care if you write it on your arm, write it on your head, write it on a piece of paper, write it somewhere, the word if. And then when you're done with the word if, I want you to put the biggest X you can through the word. Because it's the biggest negative word. It's 2 letters. It will destroy your business. If you change if to when, it becomes how. When I am going to start my recruiting is going to get you to how I'm going to do it. I started my business in February of 2011. Remember, I got 5 years in August. I did nothing for 6 months. Got my first recruit in March of 2011. Became a director, Patty Masarino, again threw a challenge at me. Became a challenge in July of 2011. Became an advanced in December of 2011. You guys, the recruits are at every single one of your shows. Every single one of your shows. Everybody at that show is waiting for you to ask them. just so you know. It may not, you know, nobody, you're going to say nobody came here for a job. You're right, nobody did, but everybody has the opportunity to do Pampered Chef, just like you, just like me, just like everybody in this room is doing Pampered Chef. Chicago area is the least saturated area in our business at Pampered Chef. Pampered Chef sits in Addison, Illinois, which sits on top of Chicago. We are the least saturated. There is business everywhere. You listen to Michael Reeves, who lives in the hills of North Carolina, who says that he takes checkbooks, credit cards, mama's money, grandma's money, the money under the mattress, wherever it's at, right? Because he believes that everybody will buy from us. Everybody, not everybody's going to join your team, but Michael said his recruits are at his show. Ellington says 95% of her recruits are at her show. You guys, 90% of my recruits are at my show. And I had this conversation with Minda and Kathy last night at my house. I had a pre-bash. There were 50 of us there. We were sharing. One thing I want to tell you guys, don't be afraid to sign your host. People are afraid to sign their host because the money's not going to be yours. Now, I always go through with my host prior to my show. If you want to join my team before my show and I show them the check that my last host would have gotten, now don't get me wrong, I don't walk in there with a $200 show and say, well, you want to make $30. I walk in there with a nice show and say to the host, you know what, look at this. And if you join my team prior to your show, you can make that paycheck that night. This is going to be your grand opening show. Because you know what, if you don't try to get your host to sign before you go there, or before they join your team, I got 5 minutes, I'm hurrying. Before they join your team, now they got to find another grand opening show. So if you can get them to do their grand opening show, you guys, I learned one thing from Nancy Jo. If I've learned anything, I've learned many things. I've learned from Nancy Jo that you are the sole provider in your business when you first start this business. It's your decision when you want to change it to your people helping you provide, as long as you train and you think. It's the same thing with signing your host. Yes, they're going to make a paycheck that you think you're not making, but just remember, when you get that one recruit that's really working hard, it's going to benefit you more. So there's 3 ingredients to every single one of my shows. Anybody know them? Fun, fun, and fun. If you are not having fun, your host feeds off of you. Your host is not having fun. If your host is not having fun, guess who's not having fun? Your crowd, your guest, whoever's in that room. So now, you're not having fun, your guest isn't having fun, your host isn't having fun, nobody's having fun. You might as well just take your bags and go home. I don't care if it's your worst day in your life and you're going to a show, from the start of your show to the finish of your show, make it your best. And if everybody in that crowd is seeing that you are having the good time that you are having, who doesn't want to join your team? Who doesn't want to be with you? And there's many, many people that go to these shows, and I'm going to give you a perfect example. Pam Johnson is sitting in this room, no relation to me. Was at a show of mine in Indianapolis, and I asked every single person at that show to join my team, except Pam. Pam's been on my team for 3 years. Don't ever judge. You guys, my motto, and if you want to write it down, put it in your head, do whatever you want, it's ask everyone, judge no one. Because if you listen to me or you listen to Love said she was a kidnapper. I did nothing for 6 months. Nothing. You never know when the opportunity that you have given somebody is going to change somebody else's life. Things change. Jobs change. People walk into their job tomorrow and they don't have it tomorrow night. You never know when they need something. So you have to offer this business to everybody. It's not for everybody, but it's for everybody to try. Now, Marie said that, you know, I recruited 47 people. I have. And in my career, I have recruited 141, I think it is. I've only been doing the business 4.5 years. You guys, we can do this. Change your if to when, and you're going to find your how. What's your why? I do, at my show, I recruit through the whole show. Of course, I go through my host, always go to your show a half hour before and talk to your host and say, you're crazy not to start this business. Look at what I have to offer you, look at what you have to get. Okay, everybody's trained to sell their favorite product, right? The Rock Rock, the double burner grill pan, all these products that Pampered Chef has. They have amazing products, am I right?
Yes.
How many people have that same passion for the back of the catalog that they have for everything in the catalog. You have got to have the same passion for that $99 opportunity as you have for the Rock Croc. You have to have the same passion for the $159 kit that you have for the double grill burner pan. Because when you believe that this business opportunity is the best thing out there, you will get this opportunity out there and people will take you up on it, as they do. As Debbie Reason said, 3 days later, 2 days later, she called somebody and they bought a Rock Croc. You never know when 2 days later somebody's going to join your team. And when I say that, I mean that, because I have a director, a fast track director in this room right now, Lisa Ford over there, sitting there, and I won't tell the story because she tells me I make her feel uncomfortable when I tell this story. But I won't tell it, but I'm going to tell you. I went to I'm not going to tell you the whole thing, but I'm going to tell you some of it. I went to a show that her and her daughter were co-hosting, and it was in the month of January. And I walked in the door, and her daughter said, "John, get my mom to join your team." I said, "Okay." So, by the end of the show, Lisa joined my team. Okay? Now, Debbie talked about the customer cares and learn this, and everybody doesn't join at the same time and all this. I got 5 recruits out of that show. Woo! Lisa was the only one that signed that night. 2 days later, Melissa called me. A week later, her daughter joined. Then someone else, Marie, joined a month later. 5 people out of the same show, you guys. You can do it. The most I've ever had at a show sign is 4. 4 people signed at one show, because I show that it's fun. I show that the opportunity is for everybody to try. I do play a recruiting game. How many minutes do I got? Okay, I'm on. So anyways, I'm going to tell you real quick about a game that I play at my show. Does anybody know the brown paper bag, the lunch bags that you send your kids or your husband or whoever you got going out to work, you throw a lunch in it? How many people go to the dollar bill store and they buy these real pretty bags? And oh my God, you guys all want these pretty bags. They don't want that pretty bag, they want what's in the bag. Forget the bag. I buy lunch bags, 200 bags for $1.50, whatever it is. I take a Season's Best, an old Season's Best cookbook, and I take a product. Whether it's your citrus peeler, whatever you have in your inventory, a spice, a mini whisk, anything that you have, and throw it in there. And let me tell you, throw 2 pieces of any color tissue paper you want in a purple or a pink. Because women fight over purple and pink. You better pray to God the girl that gets the blue and the girl that gets the yellow, because they're keeping it because they're fighting over the purple and the pink. I take 15 tickets, double-sided tickets, kind of like stealing hearts. I take 15. The game doesn't start till all 15 tickets are gone. You can ask me any question you want. You cannot ask me about a product. You cannot ask me about a recipe. You can only ask me about my business. Now remember this, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to, if you think that the question that you're going to ask is too personal, I want you to ask it. Because you guys are out there wondering how much I make. And if you don't ask it, I'm not telling you, but if you ask it, I'm free with it. Let them find out everything about your business. And people join this business. Do some people join for product? Like Michael said, he joined, he wanted the product. He wanted to get the kit, get the product, and get out. He lost his career sales 9 times, you guys. But he found his why in this business. Mine is recruiting. I think that it's for every single person to try. So now that you've passed out your 15 tickets, it's just like stealing hearts. They steal the brown paper bag. You believe that? The brown paper bag they're fighting over. It's a sandwich bag. It didn't cost me much. It's not pretty, but it's the purple tissue paper that they fight over. So then when that's over, I am a firm believer. I love when people say that Pampered Chef sells itself. I disagree. And you guys can all throw your knives, throw your pens, throw whatever you want at me. You sell the Pampered Chef.
That's right.
When you go to a show and you pass out the catalog and you're presented the Rock Croc in there, like Michael said, it's $139. I can try that. Don't pass out the catalog, you guys. Let them look at what you guys are training them to do with the products that we have. When you walk into the car dealership, do you say, I want that car right there, I don't want to drive it, I don't want to look at it, I want to buy it. It's mine. Absolutely not. Same thing when you come to my show. Come test drive my tools.
All right.
Because when you test drive them, you're going to want them. And when you test drive drive that catalog that I'm telling you on the back page, all those products in there. And Marta Ross, she can tell you all about it, $5.61 for every single one of those products, each one individual. Bring it down to a level that the people understand. Don't stand there and say, yes, my direct delivery Friday's highest check ever was $26,000 a month. You can never do it. Because I sat in these crowds just like you, looking at people in the catalogs going, oh my God. And I'm just going to share a really, really short story with you. I know I'm long-winded and I could be up here all night talking to you just like Michael could. You want to listen to him or whatever. You're probably like, get down, sit down. I don't want to listen to you no more. I can remember my very first national conference, which was Pampered Chef's last national conference. And I could remember walking in. I didn't know anybody. I'm a little policeman, scared. I wasn't scared. And I watched the Circle of Honor Achievers. And after that, I don't know if you remember, they used to have the ropes, and the next day, the 4 Circle of Honor Achievers would be there with the red carpet and the stars and all this, and I was like, yeah, not me. If I could do that. But it's not going to happen to me. It's never going to be me. You guys, I can honestly say with 5 years in the Pampered Chef business, last year I decided it's in Chicago. I live in Chicago. It's my 5th year anniversary. It's Pampered Chef's 35th. If you set that goal, as many of the people that I got here and said, when you set that goal, and then you get the how to do it, you can do it. So just remember, Friday night, when it all pans out, because I'm not saying if,
That's right.
I just hope that someday you have that dream and it's fulfilled. Have a good night and have a
And it's
great
your
time.